a punctual plumber. Fast, efficient, convenient. Plus, our phone number is easy to remember. Maybe a little too easy. Call Benjamin Franklin Plumbing today. Locally owned and operated by the Hudson family.
Hey, are we rolling? Hey, welcome back everybody to Mastication Station. We found you. Try hiding again, okay? There's money in it this time. Our sponsor, I was able to find a sponsor this time. Lee usually finds the sponsor.
I didn't get any phone calls and I didn't get any emails after our last sponsor bailed on us.
So I was able to find a sponsor. It's for the Restless Face Syndrome spray. So if you know how restless leg can really affect you, this is restless face syndrome. So if I have restless face syndrome, I just use this. I knew it. I wondered if that would bother our guests. We have some guests in the house, but before we meet them, Lee is going to tell you where we are and how many are in the audience.
Well, Tony, we're really lucky today when we're in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Just outside of the main Capitol. We're kind of in the back alleyways. Back alleyways. And when I posted that we were going to have some very special guests with feathers.
Yeah.
I didn't go any further than that, but we have a very intimate audience. We have about 35 people that have, and they're crowded. You might want to move back a little bit, but they're right here that just wanted to be close enough to see our feathered friends. So we have a very intimate audience that's very eager to learn about our feathered friends.
So being in a back alley in Washington, D.C.
Right.
does tend to bring in more intimacy, I suppose.
Yeah, a lot of people with badges with 3 letters.
I'm watching closely.
We'll have to watch what we say.
Well, from Soaring Hawk Raptor Rehabilitation. Did I say it right?
Right.
I had to look at my notes there. This is Bob in the middle.
Okay.
You could probably guess maybe that one. Sue is here, and then we have Kim over there on the other side, and they have brought some friends with us. We want to do some introductions to the audience.
Okay. Go ahead.
Sure. This is Frankie, an eastern screech owl, about 5 years old. A tree was cut down and poor Frankie fell to the ground. Somebody found him. He had a broken wing, so he came into our ICU and they patched him up. He isn't able to be released because he probably couldn't hunt for himself, so he works for us as an educational bird.
Oh, okay. So travels with you everywhere you go when you're doing little shows and stuff?
Absolutely. Gets in a crate, eats mice.
Now, when you so this will delay everybody else here, but when you give them mice, are they living or are they already?
They're passed
deceased?
away.
Okay, passed away.
Probably easier to catch.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what's the what we got in the middle here?
So this is let's see, Georgie, and Georgie's a female American kestrel, and she was hit by a car, so she has a little neurological problem. So you notice her head every so often just does a little turn to the side or something like that. And I think she's about 4 years old, and so at least and she's she's an indigenous bird. That's your big word for today.
That's my big word, indigenous.
So that's your big word for today. And so they're a native bird that are found around here, and they stay here all year round. They're cavity nesters, so they live in holes in trees or in bird boxes, or sometimes if there's a hole in the side of a barn or a house or something like that, or under the eaves of like apartment buildings. We have a pair of these that live right down here by O'Sullivan's.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's O'Sullivan's in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah.
And
Far
so
away.
so right down there on Main Street.
Yeah.
And so you're not seeing something. You're seeing mouse catchers in the backyard.
Oh, okay.
And just like Frankie, I'm sorry, Puck. Sorry, I get Frankie and Puck mixed up. Anyways,
This is Frankie.
Oh, this is Frankie. Okay, sorry. See, I get them mixed up.
We'll put a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah. So eats 1 mouse a day, and yes, it is already dead. And so he processes that, tears it apart with that nice little sharp beak there, and and enjoys it quite a bit, don't you? Yeah. So our birds get a variety of things. We get they get culled out rooster chicks. They get mice. They get sometimes they get insects. these guys like mealworms a lot. They eat those. Earthworms, and then sometimes they get some venison. So they
Really?
get
Venison?
venison, yeah.
Oh.
So
You bring down a deer.
they get treated real well, and all that is all
tiny deer.
supplemented with vitamins and minerals, and so they're nice and healthy.
So they get their pills.
Yeah, they get their
Exactly.
pills, right? Yeah. So that's Georgie, and she's going to look around at you for a bit.
Yeah. What do we have here? This
And this is Monet.
Monet's been very
he
happy
is,
today.
He has not been happy, but he's getting better. He's a barn owl, and he's 4 years old. He came in to us from a breeder.
Oh, okay.
So he was actually born not too far from here in Maryland.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
yeah, that's
right up the
awesome.
road.
Yeah.
And
Coming
so we
home.
took him in, and so he stayed with a volunteer for a while, and she worked with him on the glove and did all the things that he needed to learn as a baby to be part of our education program. So, and he eats about the same stuff. He's not too keen on the mealworms, but he does mice mainly. He has some waiting for him when he gets
Oh,
home.
okay. That's why he's behaving.
Yeah, yeah. So he makes a lot of screeches, and that's just a communication. But he's been doing this clicking thing at.
Well, she's going.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that.
a
Sorry.
communication.
Oh boy. Sorry to offend.
But most people think that they live in barns, and you can find them in a barn. But a lot of times they'll get into cliffs, or they are out, like farm areas, just out wherever they can find a crevice to get in. They don't really nest per se, but
So, where's your facility at?
Oh, we're located north of Fort Wayne,
Okay.
about 13 miles from downtown, at a town called Huntertown. And
Huntertown,
we're on the
okay.
north end of town on Old Lima Road. And people can come and visit us. They have to give us a phone call first.
Okay.
And, so make sure that the birds are there for the day, because a lot of times these guys are out earning their rats and mice. And there's no freebies, okay? And so there might be empty mews. That's what the enclosure is called, a mews.
Oh, okay.
MEW, okay, a mews.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and so that's what they live in, and so they don't really live in cages. So they have these guys all have like an 8 foot by 8 foot by 8 foot cube.
Okay.
And so that gives them space to move around and that kind of thing. And they have, stretch, that feels good. Yeah, I had to air out the arm wing pit.
Wing pits. So these three, the big word that you taught me earlier, not habitual. What was it?
Indigenous,
No, not that one. Before that, before we were filming. Habitual.
habituated.
Habituated.
Yes, so they're basically habituated, because they're now used to working with humans, or humans are used to working with them, and so the barn owl is really habituated because it was taken as a chick and taught all the things they need to know, and which was really a lot of fun for the volunteer to have, because she had to teach him how to tear his food apart.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it doesn't come natural.
How do you?
I know. Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Yes,
she
you
did.
try?
She did that, and she would feed him from her mouth. No, I'm kidding.
I
That's
almost.
dedication right
You
there.
almost
Is
went
that
for
fact
it.
or crap?
Crap.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so she had to teach him how to tear his food apart, and
hope
we
there's
have
video.
another bird that is a big owl, and because he's not native to this area, I had to teach him how to hoot. So because
Is there a video of that?
no, but no, he didn't know how to hoot. Because there was nobody around to teach him, so I had to teach him
Interesting.
how to hoot. So there's things that sometimes we have to do for the birds that so they don't come naturally equipped with it.
So how many do you take in on average a year? I mean, how many?
Upwards of about 240 birds a year.
And they're all injured. That's how
And
you
they're all
take in?
injured, or they're found to be injured. Sometimes they're what we call orphan birds. People just they find birds that are sitting around and they just look like they need help.
Yeah.
Not realizing that they're
just lost.
They're lost, or they're not even lost. They're just the parents have taken them out of the nest because the nest is now full of leftovers and stuff like that. And now is so the parents take them from the nest. Also, the parents are out there teaching them how to hunt or something. And so the poor kid's just sitting there on a rock saying, okay, now what do I do? And some do-gooder come along. And so we get in probably about 200 birds that are injured, and probably about another 40 to 50 that are orphaned, if you want to call them that.
Okay.
And a lot of the orphaned ones, we know what to do with them. We put them right back, or we put up an artificial nest for them, put them right back. And sometimes we'll put up bird boxes for them, and that kind of thing. But the rest of them, we do have a medical facility. It comes equipped with a recently installed X-ray system.
We didn't like
We
that.
have equipment, centrifuges, microscopes for doing analysis of blood work and fecal matter. And we're like a little mini vet hospital. And we do have what's the guy called? A veterinarian. Yeah, we have a veterinarian.
Yes. We have one of those.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So do you all work in like the emergency area? Like you're there trying to help them right away, or are you like what would I call you, nurses or doctors or?
No, I'm an avian care cleaner and handler, and I
Okay.
don't work in the ICU.
I work in ICU
Okay.
and
Right.
triage. Yeah.
Okay, so you like have to like sometimes you gotta be like ready right now for
Yeah.
something.
Right.
Yeah,
Interesting.
we have a program called Greet Me, and we get on there. We have our rescue phone is set up so that she can just contact us through there,
Okay.
and who can rescue this bird, and then we need somebody for triage, and we have 4 or 5 on triage, but yeah, depending on their schedule, it's who's ever available.
So of the birds that you bring in, what happens to them when they're patched up and fixed?
We release them, take them back where they came from.
Okay.
In other words, what we do is we go through a program, we get the triage, the medical treatment, they go through all that, and after we make sure that they seem healthy enough, we put them through what we call rehabilitation, where we allow them to stretch their wings and work back and forth. And then finally, we take them to flight school, where we check them out, make sure they can fly well, and all that kind of thing. And then we take them back to where they came from. And if it's safe. If it's not safe, then we don't take them back to those locations. But so we take them back to where they're familiar. A lot of times they have a mate there, a family, so to speak, in that area, or it's an area that they're familiar with.
Okay.
And so they,
There we go.
He's off.
yeah, I know. Aren't you?
You
so?
agree, don't you?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So they all get a lot of TLC, and so we, like I said, we go through about 240 inductees, and then out of those, about 40% of them are turned back out into the field, so they can do the job they're supposed to do. And their job is to take care of us humans. We don't really realize it, but what they do is they control the number of pests that are around.
Sure.
So they take care of our rodent problem, like mice or rats or maybe too many squirrels or chipmunks.
And that's why they're called birds of prey, right?
And they're called birds of prey
Do you get it now?
because they go after the birds. And what makes these guys specifically birds of prey or raptors is their talons. Okay, so just like those little velociraptors you saw in Jurassic Park with those talons that stick out, these guys have those talons, and that separates them from other birds that eat live things. Robins eat worms and things like that, but these are the guys that hold onto their things with their talons. They close down on them. They have a special tendon which has a ratchet type mechanism. So they go click, 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 and every time the prey inhales, they squeeze a little harder and a little harder until it passes out. Then they use the sharp beak to tear them into little strips, and down they go.
I'm hungry now.
I'm just
My
thinking
mate's
that the
hungry.
mice
He's
are
looking at
going,
Lee.
this really isn't my day. Ratchet, 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 ratchet.
So how
The
can
great horns, I just wanted to add this.
Yeah.
Sorry. The great horns owls that you see with the big bright yellow eyes, the pressure, there's like 200 pounds of pressure in those feet. And
Really?
so when
Square
they
inch.
grip, it just keeps going
Yeah.
and going. And it moves and it just keeps pressing.
It's like
So
the tax
it's-
guy.
Yeah.
And we wear Kevlar gloves when we handle those guys.
Yeah.
In fact, most of the birds, except for these guys here, we can, we tolerate their grip. But for most of the birds, we use Kevlar gloves.
Okay. That's
So on
bulletproof
weekends,
material, right?
what?
Isn't that bulletproof
It
material?
is bulletproof material. Yeah. In fact,
Yeah.
on the weekends we catch bullets with
do you?
police range.
That's not a bad idea. I put a disclaimer on that one too. So how can people help? How can they volunteer money? How can people
Sure. Yeah.
do that?
Well, we can always use money.
Uh-huh.
Okay. We're a completely volunteer organization, and we do depend upon the generosity of others. And so we use money like that. So they can go to our website,
Okay.
sorenhawk.org.
Sorenhawk.org.
No G, just
No
Soren-
G.
Soren.
Okay, so it's there on the bottom of the screen, right there. See it?
Yep.
Right there.
Okay, there it is.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, see,
Yes,
right?
thank you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so you can go there, and there's a place there that says you can donate, how to donate,
Okay,
that kind of
okay.
thing. If you want to volunteer, there's a place there you can sign in, and we have orientation about every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And you go through orientation where you're introduced to what you'll be doing. And I know that some people probably think it's like Snow White or something, and you have all little birds dancing. No, you don't go through that. No, it takes a while to go through. So different people have different, what do you say, traits or specialities.
Sure.
So so we use people in all kinds of things. We have IT people. We have people who do the cleaning. Some people like to clean, but they don't like to do the food. Some people are really good in the kitchen. We go through about 2 tons of food every year.
Oh, really? Wow.
And so they handle all these mice and rats and deer, fish, and occasionally roadkill squirrels or things like that. So we have people that do that kind of thing. We have the ICU people that do things, and then you have people like me that just gets in the way. And,
Inconceivable.
yeah.
Are your birds okay with the challenge? Do they have a curfew or anything?
Oh, they're fine. They might answer a few of these.
Tonight it is. Oh, sorry. Tonight it is fact or crap. So we're going to hand out our little flags here,
Okay.
and Lee is going to ask us. Well, actually, you want to do the rules? Are there rules?
Well, not really. Yeah, I'm going to ask you a trivia question, and you will decide if it's fact or crap.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
Here's your first one. In all 50 states, it is illegal to disturb a grizzly bear by taking its photograph. Once again, in all 50 states, it is illegal to disturb a grizzly bear by taking its
You might know this.
photograph.
Yeah. Well, it's stupid too.
I'm going to say
Well, no.
crap.
No, it's crap. No.
we
Yeah, I
got
think we'll
fact,
go with
crap,
Three craps and a
Crap.
fact.
crap.
It is crap. Yep. Some states it is illegal, but not all states.
Oh, not all. Okay.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah, just a
illegal.
few
Emphasis on all.
British Columbia. Or
Yeah.
something. Okay. Next one.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have brought my glasses. All right, who's got glasses I can borrow? Hey, cameraman.
Here, take mine to Middle West.
There you go.
I need his glasses. Where's he go? Our cameraman's asleep. I was trying to get your attention. I need your glasses. Okay, let me get back to the first. The first woman ever executed by the U.S. government was Benedict Arnold's wife.
Oh, fact or crap?
The first woman ever executed by the U.S. government was Benedict Arnold's
I don't think
wife.
No, I think that was crap.
Wrong place at the
I
wrong
think it was somebody
time.
else.
Crap,
That
crap,
is
crap.
crap.
Oh, hey, we all got one.
Mary Stewart was. She was convicted in 1865 conspiracy to the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. That's what I
Oh,
thought.
those glasses work.
I'm keeping these better.
All right, last one. Here we
These
go.
are better than mine.
For the win.
For the win, the name Lorna was invented in 1869 for the novel Lorna Doone. The name Lorna
Was invented.
was invented in 1869 for the novel Lorna Doone. There's a cookie like that. No, it's a Lorna
Fact.
Doone. Fact. Crap. She just kept changing her mind. That is a fact.
Oh,
Wow.
I just said
It is a fact.
Okay, next one's worth 1,000.
With 1,000 points, but the points don't really count.
Because I usually
All right. This will be for our friends in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Barbers in Nebraska are prohibited from eating onions between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Barbers in Nebraska are prohibited from
fact.
eating onions between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. That is, in fact, a fact.
Wow. All right, cool. Hey, welcome and thank the Soren Hawk Raptor Rehabilitation. The
Monet
website is
especially.
there, so you can look at that right there. We'll be right back after this. The buffet is open, and now some bird food, too, so I'm excited to see that. Be right back, everybody.
You do science. You do owl pellets?
I have
That's like a big thing.
one. It is a
It
big
is,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I just sent 70 owl pellets down to that school in
Yeah.
Greenwood.